have in his pool. We haven't seen enough out of this player in the LPL to know what he's going to fall back on and how well he'll perform.
And they are leaving the final picks towards the counter for Morgan. So you can see that the priority is truly towards that top lane. I want to quickly touch on Plex at the moment. Plex was recently in LNG in 2019 summer, has moved over to the side of WE, and he didn't really find success on that LNG roster, but coming into WE, this is his chance to kind of reformat and recharge as well. So Plex has been playing a hell of a lot of Rumble. He hasn't been the greatest laner, but he has been improving day by day, and I sound like a worried mother who knows that his child is going to be going somewhere.
Well, Plex is his work cut out here for sure, up against XiaoHu. And you can see the bans directed immediately towards XiaoHu as well, trying to get some of these mid laners that really are dominant. Zoe and LeBlanc, both incredibly strong power picks in the meta right now. And you can see the Rumble already locked in. That's very likely going towards the mid lane for Plex.
And to some of the specials for XiaoHu to add onto that as well. Double support ban here by RNG, but Ming has been playing a bit of Tarek, so whether that's the takeaway for missing or if they go for a standard bottom lane of the Braum and the Miss Fortune, seems like that's going to be the case. So, Morgan, final counter pick here for WE, but now we find out what XiaoHu wants to take into this Rumble matchup, or if it's truly going to be a Rumble top, like we saw from the Shy.
Braum locked in to go alongside the Miss Fortune of Morgan, and now the solo laners have to be decided on. I would love to see the Kled, but I don't think it'll happen.
Okay, Aatrox probably the more standard pick. We haven't seen a Kled in a very long time. But what else?
Oh, if Betty plays Vayne while Uzi's not here, honestly, that would be such a style pick for Betty, showing that he can step into the shoes of Uzi. I don't think it will be locked. I think the teaser
you got an
does.
Aphelios, right? So that's a solo lane Vayne.
Yeah, dude. Solo lane Aphelios. Let's go.
Okay.
Sylas locked in.
A bit of excitement, but nothing, eh?
But this is what you get with double play-by-play of the draft. Sorry, guys.
No brains, all plays, all the way. All right, what's going top? Be my color for a second.
It's probably, I don't know, Kennen.
Fantastic.
If this ain't great broadcast, I don't know what is. But it's going up against the Aatrox, that much I can tell you for sure. The Kennen is going to be locked in, though, and that is a decent matchup for Morgan. And Kennen is one of those characters, we've seen it from the Shy, it can be feast or famine. If you can get ahead, he's going to be able to carry the game. But if you start to fall behind, you can really struggle to have an impact.
And look, we've seen compositions like this where it is about the hot pot duo with the Rumble and the Jarvan Cataclysm. Their ability to focus bot and that Kennen can join. Coming into this game, what did we talk about? Morgan's ability to focus bot and consistently make the TP play around the end of the laning phase. That's what he's set up to do here in this game once again. While RNG, you know, the strength of that 1-4 are going to be a bit particular, and Langx in the side lane. Let's go double TP, why not? So for RNG, still fits the conditions that we've been seeing in the past couple of weeks with Betty.
Yeah, and most importantly, you can see really good skirmishing from both of these compositions. You've got the Sylas there, really good in the mid game. There's going to be a lot of power from the Aphelios as well. Whenever he finishes something like the Essence Reaver, or if he goes IE first, massive, massive power spike. So looking towards these Herald fights, looking towards these Dragon fights for the side of RNG. WE, though, they're going to be able to match that. When you can wombo combo the way that this composition can, you can really disrupt things. But if Sylas from XiaoHu can get onto the likes of the Miss Fortune, you can disrupt that kind of combo.
And again, we're seeing the Sylas from XiaoHu, which is always what I love to see. The confidence coming through, where the Sylas has only recently come into fashion, where in 10.1 we saw that little bit of a flex around in position between jungle and between mid. Now we're seeing it as a constant must ban in the second phase, or it will be picked up. Normally on red side, but XiaoHu prioritizing this going into Plex, which funnily enough was Plex's summer pick last year.
And it's going to be interesting seeing Plex on the Rumble as well, because Rumble, one of these champions that it can be an absolutely massive playmaker in the right hands, but often it's kind of a neutral pick. Often you end up seeing the equalizer just used on minion waves. You often see...
Wait, I did one. Okay. So obviously we are an online league at the moment.
Go. Online
now,
plan chance. I love it.
I'm a bit annoyed because I set in my LPL XiaoHu, and obviously it's not specific enough, so they didn't show it. You can actually, there was a tweet, shout out to Evelyn on Twitter, who actually put up a tweet recently. You can send in your XiaoHu video. There is an email there. I need to be more specific. I'll put it on my Twitter after this. but you can send in your XiaoHu and be part of the crowd. That we do not have. Well, we should do it.
Should we do it? Let's film one right now.
Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Look, before we do that though, let's talk a little bit about the game
Why not?
at
We're here.
hand. We are here. That is true. That's always true, actually. Langx going to be on the Aatrox. It's something that very much a carry. He's going to have a difficult matchup, though, into the likes of Morgan. And we mentioned it beforehand when we were looking at the replays. Morgan is a player that wants to snowball, wants to get a lead, and beishang often is the one to set him up for that.
And he will be going in a lane against XiaoHu. There's a lane swap here from RNG. Meanwhile, WE go for the invade red side start, but it's been spotted out by this well-placed ward from the bottom lane of RNG.
Now moving towards the bot side. They've done the leash, and beishang going straight in for a lane gank. Ming will have the dredge line, though. Doesn't even need to use it.
Super easy to avoid. beishang trying to double back down, but the ward spotting them out means that there's no danger here for the RNG bottom lane, and XiaoHu starts the vertical jungling himself. Now that XiaoHu's in the top side of the map, you're going to see Elise in that's going to be focusing in on this Kennen, really pushing down what has been the win condition for WE in the past.
League of Conquest once again as Conqueror
Really?
Across the board there. 4 of them for RNG. But it's interesting to see XiaoHu heading up towards the top side, and it's beishang over on the bottom side of the map. This is not usually his strategy. He likes to get a lead for Morgan, likes to force him into a cheetah recall.
Wow.
Taking a huge amount of damage.
Yeah,
trade back a little bit.
Really punishing here. XiaoHu with Conqueror versus the Kennen. I mean, so much easier to proc here from the side of the Sylas. beishang is going to be trying to gank bottom lane again. He's got level 3 this time, and RNG are slightly pushed up in lane.
Here we go. This is the opportunity. Flash forward onto Ming. Gets the flash dredge line, though, and that'll keep him safe. Magnificent play from Ming.
Super awkward interaction there, but you're right. That's a flash burnt from both Missing and beishang. So it ends up being worth in the end for Betty because he'll be able to sustain this back up, and RNG absorbing this bottom lane pressure will get them a net win if XLB is able to conquest the top side.
Yeah, the key difference here is Jiumeng gonna still have both of his summoners, whereas Betty did have to use the heal to keep Ming alive. So it could be a slight advantage, but I don't expect that to come into play when it comes to the 2v2. XiaoHu trying to get in onto beishang, but does lose his big old raptor.
Talk about the 2v2, Langx was ready to rotate there. Good trade here onto Plex, but beishang nearby, nothing more will come of it. And now for XiaoHu, it's just, okay, back to the top side. We've got a Scuttle Crab to take. We've got a Kennen that we could potentially dive soon with a couple more levels onto XiaoHu. Flash is available for the Lee Sin as well.
Certainly is, and he's headed up towards this top side. Morgan has that flash. Should they try and make a play under tower onto him, it would be very difficult to get onto the Kennen. And Kennen, one of these champions, can be a little tough to dive if he can get the stun right, but that's going to be an engage coming out from Ming onto the likes of Missing. Braum so difficult to get the damage to stick onto, though.
But the trading here is going to be significant. Remember that Missing doesn't have his summoner spells available, so the targeting from RNG, really nice there onto the engage, but merely a trade because the top lane in the engage might happen there.
XiaoHu really wants to impact this top lane. He's been on the top side of the map the entire time, but beishang is coming as well, and he is going to be level 4. There's a stun, though, going on to XiaoHu. beishang's here. Doesn't go for the flash because it's on cooldown from the bottom lane play. That means that XiaoHu walks away.
You would have all seen what Morgan just did there. He circles around the abscond abduct, so XiaoHu can't land him onto him. And now he has to back away. Teleport's going to be forced here. Morgan gets the shove in, but jungle gank from top to spot the shadow.
And this is what we've been seeing, right? Morgan gets to crash a massive wave into the tower. beishang comes up to make sure that it can be crashed. And if I'm not mistaken, Morgan should be able to go for a cheetah recall.
Now, I want to see if they go back to their normal lanes. Right now, for the Rumble, it's not working out perfectly, but it's straight back to mid for Rumble, and XiaoHu goes back top.
So this has been the core of the gameplay from WE so far. You can see Morgan going straight back up to the top lane, has his teleport available, so they found themselves the teleport advantage. Now, in the next few minutes, while XiaoHu doesn't have his teleport, expect Morgan, once he's level 6, to look for a teleport play around this dragon.
Because that's coming pretty damn soon as well on that point. Morgan will be getting back to lane now. Bottom lane shoved out a decent amount, but remember, all about positioning. The Jarvan is bot side too. So while we've been setting up this level 6, this roam, everything needs to come together for WE. And it's going to be about how XiaoHu responds. XiaoHu gets level 6 himself.
will not steal the ult yet.
No, not going to have the opportunity to, just for now. And Morgan will be just trying to DPS down these minions as fast as possible. And Xiaolongbao, obviously a level down in this jungle because he spent so long in the top side of the map, just trying to get any kind of pressure onto Morgan.
Also tried to get the Raptors before and wasted a lot of time spotting out beishang. And it's, you know, kind of refreshing to have a game that doesn't escalate by 5 minutes. I say that, but a lot of the time as a play-by-play, when you get a nice 5-minute fight, team fight with all 5 members, feels pretty good. But
Definitely does.
I like the breathing. Doesn't mean I have to be smarter, which is not, you know, not the big brain play, ironically.
Well, across the board so far, things relatively slow. But as we said, both of these team compositions, they want to be going for the skirmishes once those ultimates are available. You can see XiaoHu going to be stealing the ultimate from Morgan. But now we could wait and see what Morgan wants to do. He's hit 6 for himself. He has the teleport available. Are they going to force a play?
Well, beishang's here. I don't think he's been spotted on that ward in the tri-brush. But notice what we're talking about. The ward is set up, or was rather, for WE. But the damage from Betty.
Oh my goodness. Xiaolongbao's waiting in the wings. He's not even needed right now. Betty just rails down Missing's health bar. And that's just the power of this Aphelios pick. Once he has that BF sword, you have to respect that damage.
It's also the Severum Q when you have Crescendum as your secondary, and the amount of shurikens you get can be pretty damn nutty. Beishang only now is coming down, but they didn't spot out the Lee Sin before as far as I'm concerned, but they're engaging.
Oh, Ming gets the dredge line though. That might just keep him safe. But that's going to be the concussive blows. It does finish off in the end. Can't escape. Heal comes on down, and Ming is going to fall. First blood going the way of Jiumeng, but it's answered twofold. There's a solo kill in the top lane as beishang falls, and RNG just rinsed WE.
Down from the mid lane, they strike hard, and that's going to be a dragon off the back of it as well. 4 quick kills that really set this game alight.
And XiaoHu says, Morgan, you want to make a play on the bot side? I don't think so. Not while you're dead, my friend.
Oh my, that's going to be absolutely massive. And now the game's set up for a big, bad Aatrox. And an infernal start with a bit of bonus stats coming right up.
Yeah, that's very, very nice pickup from Xiaolongbao. Let's take a look at the solo kill.
It was the stolen Kennen ulti that comes out first. And what I was saying before is the Conqueror on Sylas just feels better at that point. Happened during the trade in the bottom lane.
Honestly, just disrespect from Morgan there. Had his flash, had his own slicing maelstrom. Literally just decided, I guess he thought he could survive. I guess he thought he could get away with it. Maybe just deciding he doesn't want to commit to summoners and accepting his own fate.
Now, I do want to transition because doesn't look like we're going to see a replay towards the bottom side. Ming survived for so long, almost gets out, and it's the way that WE have to step back into the play that they then get sandwiched between Langx and Xiaolongbao. So for WE, that hurts them in the end. They will get this Rift Herald, but the thing is, at this point, RNG is setting up to contest.
But this is a full 5-man play from the side of WE. You can see Betty isn't here. He's only just arriving in the mid lane. So WE are going to get the Herald. Here comes the teleport. Ming misses the dredge line. XiaoHu going to be on the front line with the Cataclysm. Langx is here as well. Back onto Jiumeng, and XiaoHu is unleashed. That's going to be 1 kill. Traded back for Morgan, though. In the meantime, the rest of the team is getting obliterated.
Oh, not that
Morgan
way.
flashes into the loving arms of Langx, and that's going to be a double for the Aphelios. Now diving on, finishing off the kill. Langx only just pops the world ender.
Didn't even need it for the fight. 9 kills to 2 for RNG. Almost a 4,000 gold lead. The Aatrox flank is everything. And now with this extra bit of turret plating, another Fed Aphelios in another League of Legends game.
Yeah, let's just take another look at this fight and look at the TP deep in the backline. In the meantime, this is without an AD carry. They already start off strong.
He doesn't have World Ender at the start of this fight. You don't expect that Langx is an issue, but XiaoHu takes so much from WE, so many key ultimates, and then they have to run away to either Langx or the rest of RNG, and either way, the chase that can follow up with the rest of WE is enough to secure everyone from WE.
And I don't know if you saw the equalizer coming out from Plex, but it was pretty much entirely inside the wall outside of the Baron pit. So really unfortunate ultimate coming out from him. And it has to be said, when you look at this team, Morgan and Plex, those are the 2 Korean players that have been brought into this roster. Plex has been a little bit on the quiet side. We saw a good Yasuo game out of him earlier on in the season, but since then, it's very much been the Morgan show.
The Korean import, people remember him as, if I'm not mistaken, being traded by Griffin earlier on, but hang on, I'll pause again. Plex is in trouble.
Here we go, kick back, and I mean, it's all she wrote for Plex is he's going to go down Langx, going to find the kill.
5 kills now on the Aatrox. What does that tell you? We're both play-by-plays, and we see one thing. Fed Aatrox means RNG are not stopping anytime soon.
No, they are most certainly not. And Langx, he was the one that we were saying was one of the weaker parts of the side of RNG. Maybe Morgan could take advantage. What do? They just lane swap him away. Send him to the mid lane. That way, XiaoHu and Ming can support him, get him set up for success. And then these mid-game skirmishes have just gone all into his pocket.
And if we just take a step back, because XiaoHu's ready to solo kill Morgan with that ultimate in hand, these lane swaps have ruined the game.
Time for a dive. XiaoHu wants to get yet another kill onto Morgan. He might sacrifice his life. The Kingslayer not enough, and Morgan finds the play. I said it earlier. Don't dive the Kennen.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. And XiaoHu, with his confidence, over-eager in that dive. Going to get punished massively. So a win over to WE in the slightest form will mean something in the long run. But they need more of those, and they need them soon.
We'll see if they can find more wins. They're 4,000 gold down right now. It's going to be tough. Plex is just getting camped right now. Immediately, as soon as he's back in the lane, everybody collapses. And as I said before, XiaoHu and Ming setting Langx up for success.
Really good bullying here. I mean, look, not good for Plex, but not that I condone bullying at that as well. It is hard.
I know bullying, and this is good
bullying. Plex is 0-3. Plex essentially has been moved out of this game. And it's the roams from Ming that are coming through. The Nautilus combined with XiaoHu. You said it yourself best, that they're setting up Langx to succeed, who is at 6,300 gold with a completed Black Cleaver.
Yeah, they are going to be able to finally drop their Herald. That's the side of WE. A lot of gold going towards the pocket of Morgan, who I've just noticed is going AD Kennen here.
Yeah.
Well, so I saw the Gunblade, and I saw the Cutlass, and I thought, okay, Gunblade Kennen, yeah, that's pretty normal. Finishes the Blade of the Rune King, though.
I want to pull out something. It's a Conqueror's Kennen, right? So the ability to get more on hit, more auto attacks, and I'm not going to explain it too much because you know me, but Blade of the Rune King start here first. Going to give a bit more movement speed on top of XiaoHu as well. But a Dragon is taken on the other side, and Munchables, beishang in a bit of a pickle.
But just like an onion, he's going to slip away off of your fort. They're always so slippery. Said he's in a pickle.
Yeah, well, I've never had that problem with onions.
Pickled onions, they always bounce off of the plate. Anyway, XiaoHu's get chased down. Equalizer's finally on point, and that's a bullet time to follow up as well. Teleport, though, from XiaoHu. You're absolutely right. Cataclysm onto Jiumeng, but he got exhausted, so he doesn't have the damage. Langx needs to be huge in this fight. World Ender comes out. Plex is alone. Doesn't have his flash available and will go down in the end. Dragon, though, goes the way of RNG.
You just can't deal with Langx. A level 11 Aatrox can zone off 3 people, and if you stay in the fight, he'll kill at least one of them. So right now, WE is suffering from this mid lane, and every single objective is not theirs to take. The way this game is going, WE are getting slammed out, having no say whatsoever.
Yeah, it's been a really rough situation. Look at the plate gold going towards Betty as well. Most of these skirmishes, Betty's been able to kind of chill on the bottom side. The way that RNG have been playing is around the mid lane, so he's just been sitting, soaking up the minions, and then every time Jiumeng leaves, he's able to get plays.
Well, at this point, Betty with the Infinity Edge first. Now, just a quick talk about builds. At least in the LPL, I haven't seen other regions what the first build of Aphelios is at the moment, but in 10.4, we've shifted from the Essence Reaver to straight into the Infinity Edge sometimes, right? You get that early power spike, and when you have Severum and Infinity Edge and the ability to add Crescendum in there as well. Crescendum, we talked about this the other day. There's a lot of early damage that's being accessed here by the Aphelios.
Yeah, certainly going to be able to dish out massive damage, especially if you have the Severum as well. Obviously, when you use your Q, it can crit. You're going to be hitting so rapidly that you can just burst someone down. Betty's been found, though. Bullet time does absolutely nothing. Betty flashes. And it's a disastrous gank for WE.
Okay, but at least they get the flash out of Betty at the end. They will get this turret, so they're getting something on the board. WE are not sitting and twiddling their thumbs, and that's the main thing here. RNG are backing away, giving the respect to this bottom lane, so a bit more gold to the really only element that is impacting this early game.
Missing. He's going to be stepping forward pretty aggressively here on the Braum. In the meantime, Xiaolongbao does manage to find himself their Herald, so they might be able to at least trade towers here to make up for the first one that goes down in favor of WE. When you look at the gold, though, it's 4,000 in favor of RNG. Even if the tower went down, I think they're still going to be pretty happy with the position they're in.
But you got to be positive sometimes, you know. You want to give WE something, and Morgan wants to give him a fight.
Here we go, diving onto Morgan. The AD Kennen not going to do too much with the ultimate. And XiaoHu
almost
dashes out of the tower's range. Very nicely played.
Now, Rift Herald still available here for Xiaolongbao, but doesn't choose to use it in this engage. Beishang's coming up to the top lane, so another day. As Beishang looking for the engagement. XiaoHu stopped his back.
Award. They are going to be spotted out. Beishang baiting this one because the rest of his team is on the way. Jiumeng's nearly here. Cataclysm onto Xiaolongbao. Does have the flash available and will go for it. Bullet time, though, will finish off the kill. Beishang gets the credit. Langx too late to the party. And suddenly, it isn't RNG getting the tower. It might just be WE instead. Langx trying to pressure, trying to do something.
Plex is moving up here as well, has the equalizer, but not a lot of damage coming out of this Rumble. And now that Langx is here, WE have to back away. Morgan noticed as well, used the TP to get to the mid lane, so now no longer has the advantage to look for a play in the back line. He's all about pushing up these waves, and that's what he's doing right now.
So Morgan just going to be clearing out in the mid lane as Betty. I mean, the Infernum's so good at just clearing out those minions. And this is something that we're seeing in basically all of the leagues, is when there's a bit more of a quiet time in the game, you'll often see these waves just being ping-ponged, and especially in the LPL, part of the reason is they got to be ready for any of these fights that can kick off. You can't be stuck in a lane freezing, because quite often you end up punished and the rest of your team goes down.
Yeah, well said, I think, at this point as well. Because we're in a state of ping-pong, it's a good time to take a look at the items as well. Now, Mr. Munchables, what do you see on that screen that tells you that this is a really dangerous Aatrox?
The Death's Dance and the Black Cleaver.
Yeah, I see that
Are you testing my item name knowledge?
No, I'm not testing you at all. I'm just showing interest. At Death's Dance, at 18 minutes, 2-item mid laner, and they want to fight it.
Here we go, WE aggressed upon Plex, the target to start with, but he's going to be fine. Missing, barely gets away. Has to use Jiumeng's heal there. Langx using the World Ender, but no World Ender today.
Okay, but they do the damage. Morgan not going to get abscond abducted, but Dragon's here. WE want to fight over it. But do they have the health for it?
I would say so.
Well, Missing doesn't. He's at half health.
XiaoHu does have his hijack available on Morgan. That cooldown is about to time out, so XiaoHu could use the Kennen ultimate potentially in this fight if it goes down quick enough, but I think WE might just... Oh no, the Dragon resets. That's really bad news. Yeah. He's gonna know! Xiaolongbao gets it anyway, gets a kick straight onto Jiumeng as well. XiaoHu's in the backline though, and he's won. Oh, he gets away! Cataclysm, it's massive! Missing's gonna go down. It's all falling apart for WE. beishang collapsed on, and that's gonna be another fight for RNG.
I'm with you. I thought that fight was fine, and that kick from the steal, Xiaolongbao dictated that fight before it even began. The steal was beautiful, and I know we get the replay, ladies and gentlemen, but RNG are making this look way too easy. WE forced off yet another objective, another turret, and Betty's just going to be free-firing this and getting more gold, while Langx does the same.
Unbelievable performance coming out from RNG here. And, you know, we talked about maybe WE can give them a run for their money. They've got the composition to fight after level 6. But so far, they've not really been able to match up when it comes to team fight presence.
Xiaolongbao with a nice dodge away from the Braum ulti, but the kick doesn't even enable bullet time to get its damage across. Maybe the fight's a different story. And then there's so many other elements you have to worry about with the mid lane Sylas, or sorry, top lane Sylas. Really hard to kill. And then Langx was already so damn fed that you didn't want to interact with him anyway. So.
Yeah, and XiaoHu's 1v4, right? And it looks like he might end up going down, but he steals the Cataclysm, then uses it to jump onto Jiumeng to get out of the fight. Does end up going down later on anyway. But just the sheer presence of mind, and it nets him the kill onto the carry.
And it just makes RNG's fighting, again, look really good. What was the story coming into this? That RNG are one of the best team fighters in the LPL once again. Even without Uzi, even without Castro in this roster anymore, you still have people like XiaoHu, you still have Ming, and the new members are facilitating really, really well. So RNG, some clean stuff so far, and they're making this game one look like a bit of a clinic against WE.
And I have to say, I'm yet to see the value in this AD Kennen coming out from Morgan. When you talk about Morgan, thinking back to last year, he was the laner, he was the top laner with the most MVPs in the LDL in 2019.
Yep.
We're not really seeing that same level of performance, and quite often that may be down to the draft. The fact that the set was banned away, the Renekton was banned away, feels like he's struggling a little bit more on the Kennen.
We're expecting to see that early teleport from the Kennen. As we talked about with Morgan, it's about his ability to impact Jiumeng and Missing down the bottom lane and get them rolling as well. In multiple clips, we've seen the Renekton, we've seen the set dictate the pace of the early game. That wasn't done this time around, and the AD Kennen has been missing a beat.
I mean, it just wasn't possible, right? Because XiaoHu literally solo killed him during the fight that he wants to get that kind of teleport off. So just phenomenal play from XiaoHu. And, you know, it's exciting to see XiaoHu up in the top lane. We were saying how he was going to be kind of freed in this mid lane. Instead, they've sent him top. They say, you go deal with Morgan. He's their strongest player. You're ours. Let's see the 1v1.
Also, another reason that I feel like this game was influenced by so early on was XiaoHu taking the lane swap into the Kennen. Langx got a better time, and now you can see that, yeah, looking for the solo kill onto Morgan.
Morgan, though, dodges away from the slicing Maelstrom, and I think
over.
he can walk away from this one with the electrical surge. And that means that Morgan actually pulling out a pretty important ultimate. Obviously, Hijack, not the longest cooldown in the world. Very nicely played.
Used to be a lot shorter, as we remember back in the days of Sylas. It's been a while since we've seen him, at least across other parts of the world. And I was having a discussion, I think we all were the other day. We're all sitting in our little quarantine room, our little cave that we've been absorbing moisture and noodles. And
do love moisture.
We did talk about, you know, why Sylas was coming back in the LPL, and I can't remember the conclusion of that story, so I shouldn't have brought it up.
The reason that Sylas is coming back into the LPL is, well, from this is second-hand knowledge. All of this goes credit to Jordan Corby, but the reason that Sylas is a strong pick is that he's a mid-game skirmisher. He loves these fights, and he can steal some of the power from your opponent's composition as well, especially against the likes of a Kennen. But most importantly, in these kind of fights around Dragon and around the Rift Herald, he can have such a huge impact because of the disruption and the fact that he's so difficult to kill in the mid-game.
Yeah.
On top of that, if you can then get the Dragons, get the Rift Heralds, you can snowball the game with the state it's currently in.
Also, the abilities that you're taking right now are just so exceptional, aren't they? The amount of ultimates that influence fights around these objectives. Like when we have a Rumble meta, when we have a Miss Fortune meta, and even like things like Rakan, Braum, like disrupting ults, the Sylas becomes so efficient yet again. And I think one of the better Sylases we have seen is XiaoHu. Plex played a lot of it last year, and when it was really strong, Plex tunneled in on this pick. Now, we are going into this because this is a much slower game this time around. And RNG have full control. You can see this is a mountain song. Right?
And you know you're watching the LPL when the much slower game has got 22 kills in it at 24 minutes. Morgan dashes away with the electrical surge.
Well said, that's true.
But there we go. WE managing to get some vision around the Baron pit there. And, I mean, this is just a clinic at this point from RNG. They're clearly superior in the teamfight situations. Their goal lead is massive at this point in the game. And they are just showing that they have complete control. They've got that Mountain Soul as well off the back of that last 30-second play. And now with Baron on the map, with Elder spawning in 5 minutes, it's going to be tough to see a way for WE to get into this game.
But let's talk a little bit about the potential of finding a way into this fight. If they do look for the full 5-on-5 in front of Baron, which at this point Langx will hard disagree with winning, with letting WE win it at that point. You need the equalizer, you need the bullet time to get its maximum potential, which is 3-4 members at the very least. You need those combo ultis on top of each other, and that also means the hot pot, the equalizer with the Cataclysm, and stir it around, get that chili going.
Oh yeah, and especially with a bullet time on top of all of that, and a slicing Maelstrom. Like, the dream wombo combo is there, right?
Yep.
If you can picture it in your mind. But the problem is, this is the LPL. Fights aren't that tidy. XiaoHu getting aggressed upon by Morgan, and he's actually going to go for the flash play. Double slicing Maelstrom, he's under the turret. Morgan's so low, and he can't quite turn the damage back around. There's the abduct, but XiaoHu can't finish the kill off.
Yeah, Kingslayer does a lot of healing at this point. Maxed alongside the abscond abduct, so now Morgan goes back. He does have the teleport, and so does XiaoHu, so they'll reset, but beishang.
Oh, the resonating strikes there, and it's a kick back into the team. Aatrox is inside the Cataclysm, and the equalizer's not enough. Another couple of kills, one for the likes of Betty, and now, Ming nearly gets a hook there. They're onto the turret, and RNG just snowball.
Thoughts of Casa here with that Lee Sin. Xiaolong Balan's been super clean this game. Really nice kick once again. And RNG always deserved this Baron here in game number 1, but now they get some kills and they're going to take it, whether they like it or not.
They're going to get the tier 2, they're going to get the Baron. Now they're going to look to what else they can find across the map. Morgan looking for a 1v1 in the mid lane, but that ain't a 1v1 you want to find. XiaoHu has been outclassing Morgan in that matchup. Jiumeng, that ain't your red buff anymore, my friend. He has to flash away, and that's going to be given over to Langx.
No summoners bar the teleport, smite and heal available for WE after that. And Baron taken, a massive gold lead from RNG, one that feels like WE are never going to come back from. And compliments all around. WE have been outclassed, outplayed. Feels like every moment of this game.
And you know, this is the result that you do expect coming into this series. RNG are the clear favorites. When you look at the scores coming into the series, it's 2-1 apiece, right? They've each got 2 wins, they've each got 1 loss. But when you look at the teams that they've faced leading up to this series, WE lost to JDG. They beat V5 and VG, the 2 teams at the bottom of the standings right now. When you look at RNG, though, they lost to BLG, but they beat Top and they beat OMG. Much more convincing wins, much more convincing results, and you're seeing that visualized right before your eyes with this gold lead.
The argument of strength of schedule is a really big one here. Now, for WE, I will say that my expectations were a bit lenient to give WE a potential game through this top side. It is only the start of the series, so WE after this is going to have to reset. But we're not at that point yet. We need to see that final fight coming through from RNG. As with Baron, they're starting to push the base and using Langx on the strong of this bottom side.
Langx is absolutely massive at this point in the game. He can comfortably pressure by himself. And in the meantime, Betty, with the Calibrum, going to be able to poke away at this tower. In goes XiaoHu. Very, very deep, but he's happy to just go 1v4 right now. He does have the Zhonya's, so he'll be able to survive. His beishang has to use his stone plate just to keep himself up. Bullet time just doesn't do enough damage. Xiaolong Bao gets away barely, and now straight onto the rest of the team. Missing, will fall. It's a massive ult coming out from Betty as he charges forward on the Aphelios. Jiumeng finished off, and that'll be Plex falling too. A quadra kill in the pocket of Langx, and the game for RNG.
This game is all about Aatrox, and Langx lets us know it was a close call for WE. They almost found the wombo they needed, but RNG way too far ahead.
What a performance coming out from RNG. An absolute clinic in game number 1. 24-7 is the final scoreline, and 24-7 is the dominance of RNG.
All day, every day. Well said, my friend. Well said. But yeah, RNG start off with what is an absolute clinic coming back into this game, or coming back into this series, rather. And yeah, WE just fall apart at the seams straight from the get-go.
And once again, it goes back to what we were saying right at the very start of this series. The skirmishing from RNG is exceptional. When it comes to these mid-game fights, when it comes to the fights around the Herald and around the Baron, RNG's mechanical prowess really shows up, and XiaoHu especially. Just his willingness to flash forward for a 1v1 against Morgan, consistently shutting him down. He knew that Morgan was the strength for WE, and he knew he had to take him out of the game completely.
He did that perfectly, and the mid laner succeeds again. Langx doesn't need the damage that game. It was all about him, and the early pressure that was applied to Plex, shutting down that Rumble. And shutting down implies he ever got ahead. No, Plex didn't get to play the game. He was 0-4 by the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, Plex really struggled in this one, and I said it before the game, Plex has been struggling a little bit. He's one of the Korean imports for this squad, and he's not really been able to put up the numbers so far for them, so it's going to be difficult to see what he's able to achieve in the next game in this series, my mask is going all over the place, I'm not going to lie.
Must
It
be
keeps
hard
steaming
with
up my glasses. I'm really struggling to get a grips, but every other time when I go outside, I take my glasses off, but I can't read anything if I do that.
No, that's all right. You need to read. It's all right. We're making the best of it. Obviously, we are not used to it. Well, we do wear masks. Anyway, hello, draft. Good
You're the color caster. Fire away.
Oh, yeah,
mate.
that's true. I am. Normally, I can get away with this kind of stuff. Let me tell you one thing, right? Let me tell you one simple thing. I like Aphelios. I think Aphelios needs to be banned. I don't think Aphelios is worth letting through. People will disagree with me, but that's my opinion. At the end of the day, RNG looked great on both draft and in game. How's that? How easy is that to say?
Yeah, I mean, you're not
Perfect.
wrong. You're not wrong. I think the draft really, it all comes down to the final 2 picks from the side of RNG. They're able to get the Aatrox, they're able to get the Sylas as well, and both of them
Yes.
dominant. But a lot of it came down to the way that the support and the jungler both consistently roam towards the mid lane for RNG, setting Langx up on this Aatrox, getting him snowballing in the
Isn't
early
it
game.
funny that it's not XiaoHu this game that's set up, it's Langx. So maybe it's not more about XiaoHu, maybe it's more about the position of mid
Yeah.
for RNG.
Whoever's mid.
Is actually getting the resources now that Uzi's not there. Betty sits alone on an island, and as you said in game, he was farming up turret plates. He then moves into the fight and is such a big threat alongside Langx and XiaoHu. So well played for, I guess, through mid and punishing Plex hard.
Yeah.
The rest of the map succeeded because of it.
It's definitely the way to go against WE, and they've shown it in game number 1. It's about time we head into a quick break. We'll find out if WE can fire back